This is it. We're just waiting. 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 So yippee-ki-yay. How we doing, people? Happy Soulfire Sunday. Soulfire Sunday? Oh yeah, good times. So, here we are. We're not going to do music tonight. Oh, I forgot to click that. Give me a second. It's doing its clicking thingies. I know everything's working. I know the sound's working. I know the audio's working. I know the microphone's working. I know everything's working. Except the music. The music's not working. But the reason the music's not working is because, well, I keep getting these alerts that my post isn't allowed somewhere else. So since I post this up on Spotify and YouTube and everything else, we just won't do any sound during this thing. But I think starting tomorrow, I'm going to start going live more often, and we're going to have some shenanigans. Shenanigans? Did I say shenanigans? I said shenanigans. Shenanigans are always fun. So, anyways, how are we doing, peoples? Beautiful night in the neighborhood. I am excited. I got the Helms Deep server up and running. I got the framework for Serenity up and running. I even figured out something else moving forward for the camera business that kind of helps me, future-proof it and makes it a little bit more appealing in the long run. So, I'm excited about this. I really am excited. I had a very busy, eventful day. And I'll be honest, I started off not really very motivated. And that's the thing. Most people think they have a motivation problem. I didn't have a motivation problem this morning. I just didn't feel like doing anything. I'm not going to lie. Who here has ever tried and woken up on a Sunday morning and really didn't feel like doing anything? It's a Sunday. It's a Sunday. Who wants to work on a Sunday? Who wants to do anything on a Sunday? But you know what? Work we do. We go out there, cut the grass. Some of us do. I don't. I don't cut grass. I hate grass. Give me a tree, a bunch of trees and bushes and the whole 9 yards, we're golden. There are people out there that'll agree with me. There are people out there that'll try and say, I remember cutting his grass when it was up to my waist. He didn't pay me enough for it either, is what they say, but that's besides the point. But you know what? People don't have a motivation problem. They have a system problem. And that's the thing, is that I really didn't feel like getting any work done today. I woke up this morning, and I'll be 100% truthful. I woke up and I was like, I don't feel like doing jack squat today. And so you know what I did? I went and got me some coffee. Then after I got some coffee, I sat there, drank some coffee. I looked at my motivation for the morning. I read it. I read the thing. You don't need motivation, you need a system. And I read that, and I devised a little 1-minute motivational talk. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go in my office. I'm going to do my motivational talk this morning. I'm going to make my image out. I'm going to post all that stuff. And so I came in my office, I sat down in my office, I started doing my motivation image, and I did my motivational minute talk. And after I posted all that out and sent it out, I'm sitting here, I'm like, you know what? I need another cup of coffee. So guess what I went and got? More coffee. That's right. I went and got more coffee. So I got more coffee. I came back to my desk and I sat there, and I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, oh, well, I'm up. I moved around. I got my clothes on. did my exercise, drink my coffee, did my motivation thing. Now what? And I'm like sitting there. I said I wasn't going to do anything today. I wasn't going to work. Oh, okay. All right. Well, you know what? Let's just take a quick look and see how the status is. And we know what happens when that happens. It's like flushing a toilet and throwing a bug in a toilet. You see the bug swirl around before it goes down the hole, but you know what's going to happen to that bug. Yep. Right down that hole I went. Why? Because I have a system. Because I've developed the habits of drinking my coffee, working out, reading my motivational minute stuff, and then getting to work. Without that system in place, I'd be lost. I'd be like, what am I going to do now? I'd probably walk around the house like a zombie, like an NPC or something. Just go to the front of the house to the back of the house, back to the front of the house to the back of the house. I'd probably do something strange and odd like that. You know, who knows? But you know what? Yeah, I flushed that toilet. I went right down that drain and I started working. I first checked out to make sure the copy, the backups are working. The backups are working great. You know, from one server to another, I'm averaging about 7 to 8 gigabits. I'm excited about that. You know, that wasn't working properly before. I was getting maybe 2 to 3 gigabits as it transfers from one server to another one. I was excited about that. And then because of the fact that I try to set up the Helms Deep as a backup server to the AI and everything, I wanted to do a hard test, and I shut down. I didn't shut down. I shut down all the services on Serenity, and everything came up and worked beautifully on Helms Deep as a backup. I'm like, wow, this is awesome. So I decided that, you know what, instead of fingering around all day long and working on Serenity and they have to copy all that stuff over later, I'll just leave Helms Deep up and running. I'll keep my copying going. I mean, I've got 21 terabytes worth of data to move. You know, from clients' files to my files to kids' pictures to pictures of my mother and stuff like that. You know, and anybody's curious how long it takes to copy 21 terabytes of 21 terabytes of data over a 10 gig connection. It's roughly about 26 hours so far, just to let you know. I mean, that's a direct link from one PC to another. So, you know, give or take. Well, at least 26 hours, half hour ago. So, but anyways, long story short, you know, I did all that, checked that out. And I'm like, oh, cool. Everything's working great. I mean, I had a good time. I got up, I tried to have more coffee. Kids woke up, they went and do their things. See, what happens is people wake up waiting for a feeling of inspiration, a feeling of the perfect moment. But you know what? Winners don't wait. They build the structure. They build the structures that fire even when they don't feel like it. I didn't feel like working today. In fact, I said I wanted to be lazy today. In fact, I don't even have my intern coming in tomorrow because I'm going to be lazy today and tomorrow. We already know I'm not going to be lazy all day tomorrow. We already know this. And that's where I'm like, winners don't wait. They build the structures that fire even when they don't feel like it. And yeah, I didn't feel like working today, but you know what? It got to the point whereas I didn't know what else to do. So Gear 4, boom. I sat in front of the computer and did a bunch of work. I got a lot of different things working properly. I'm excited. I mean, I am excited. I mean, if I was a puppy, I'd be piddling all over the place. And this isn't about hyping up the fact I got all this work done. This is about hyping up the fact that I said I was going to be lazy and my habits did not allow me to because I've already built the system. Because when you build the system and you get used to actually getting stuff done, no matter how much you say you want to be lazy, guess what's going to happen? The NPC in you is going to take over. And well, is that NPC a useless person that wanders around aimlessly? Or is that NPC a person that takes over and starts trying and doing stuff that's going to build your future? And this is what I'm talking about. The architect that you build, the architecture of your life. Because motivation is just an emotion. Emotions swing back and forth. There are days that you feel like working, and there are days that you don't feel like working. There are days I'll jump out of bed, I'll be like, hey, let's take on the world. Yeah. And then there are days like, oh God, it's morning. I don't, and I stop myself right away because I realize that when I start myself with that negative emotion first thing in the morning, that compounds the rest of the day. So the first 20 minutes of the morning, I do everything I can to make myself motivated. I do everything I can to make myself positive by listening to positive motivational videos, to listening to positive motivational music, to reading positive motivational books that help build me up. Does it give me motivation? No, not all the time. What gives me motivation are my dreams. What gives me motivation is a desire to have a better life. What gives me motivation is the discipline and the movement I make when I take those steps towards my destiny. Because see, you don't rise to the level of your motivation. You fall to the level of your systems. So if you build yourself at a high level all the time, expecting best results out of yourself all the time, and there are days that you kind of fall down below a little bit, you're not all the way going down underground. You're not going to the negatives. You're right there. But if you base your life on just making it by the skin of your teeth, and all of a sudden when life hits you hard and you lose 20 hit points, you're going to be in the negatives. I hate saying it like a game, but think of it that way. You want to run around the game with thousands of hit points. You don't want to run around the game with only like 10 points on your armor or your hull. Yeah, I'm talking Eve here. In Eve, you got three different types of protections: shields, armor, hull. Shields, you get like 20,000, or depending on how big your ship is. That's the most you get. All right. Then you got your armor. Then you got your hull. All right. Shields you can replenish using shield boosters and stuff like this. Think about that as motivational books. Armor. That's the skeleton inside of you. Think of it as adding motivational tapes in your brain. Just plugging that right in with the books. And then the hull is just your bare bones. Nothing on you at all. It's like World of Warcraft, running around half naked in the game. No, not even leathers. Not even leathers. Nothing, just basically running around. And you don't want to run around the game with 10 health points on in the game. No, you want to try to keep that up in at least armor. You want to keep that up at least armor, if not all the way up into shields. That way when life hits you, bam, you can take the hit and you can keep moving. And you want to repair that as quickly as possible through your books and your tapes and your motivation and your activation and the people that try and support you and the people that try and promote you and the people that try and activate you and drive you to do better for yourself. Because you don't rise to the level of your motivation, you fall to the level of your systems. Your systems are proactive. They are your defenses against life. And life is going to hit you. Life is going to hit you. And you know what? It's a repeatable process. Every morning you wake up, you replenish them shields. You read that books, you listen to those tapes, you try and talk to your mentor. You talk to somebody that can hold you accountable. Hey, How are you doing today? Are you working out? Where are you at on your weight loss? You talk to your coach. Coaches aren't just for trying to teams. Coaches are for those people that want to do something better with their life. And so therefore you repair your shields first thing in the morning. You repair your armor first thing in the morning. That's why you go to bed at night, so you can try to set the repair cycle. It's what triggers the action. And you want your environment to be peaceful. You don't want to be chaotic. When you go home at night, you want it to be peaceful and chaotic. That's why first thing you do in the morning is you make your bed. Make your bed so it looks nice. So at least when you come home, your bed's made and it looks nice. And you got your accountability. You talk to your coach, you talk to your mentor, you talk to them and get them to try and keep track of what you're doing so that you can feel better about yourself. See, they can also help you review on how you're doing and maybe help you guide you in the right direction. Sort of like a GPS of life. People try to live off of GPS nowadays. They get in their car, they punch in their destination in the car, and they put the GPS up on the windshield, and they just go. Turn left after the McDonald's. Turn right up ahead. Slow down, there are police ahead. Bumpy road ahead. If you're willing to try to follow a computer driving on the streets where there's tons of crazies that can crash into you, where you may or may not make it to your destination, why can't you listen to somebody who's willing to try and actively listen to you and help you build your dreams, build your goals, find the right path for your future? That's something to think about. Because they can help spark that motivation inside you. They can be part of that engine that starts up and builds your motivation. See, you don't win because you feel inspired. You win because of the fact that the engine keeps turning. You don't go to the gym and just lift the weight one time and that's it. Feel like, oh, hey, I'm $1 million. I got the muscles now. And go win the Mr. Universe competition. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You've got to go to the gym every day. You got to lift muscles every day. You got to work them every day. Like your brain, you got to work your brain every day. One of my closest, bestest friends, my brother, like, next best thing to brother, he's my brother, fuck, I don't care, says that your mind needs to be educated daily. Without that education, it gets stagnant. And stagnant leads to decay, and decay to death. Your brain can get stagnant if you're not studying something. And that stagnicity can lead to decay, and that decay can lead to your death. Les Brown says it best. People live their life all the way until 26, and then they die. But they don't get buried until their 70s. Why? Because they stop learning. After they graduate college, they stop learning. They stop going after their dreams. They stop experimenting with their life because they feel that they've done it all and that's it. And they just stop growing at that age. And when you stop growing, that's it. Game over. You die. And then you just live the rest of your life coasting until they finally bury you. See, that's why so many people, I hate saying it like this, so many people have such closed-mindeds after they're 20-something years old. They don't want to start a new business. They don't want to start a new job. They don't want to go back to school. They don't want to do anything different. They're so stuck in their pattern, in their rut, that they don't see anything outside of their blinders. Because they're mentally dead. Their dreams are dead. Their soul is dead. Their spirit is dead. And they're just basically waiting to be buried. Living their life, going to work every day, coming home every day, eating their TV dinner, watching TV, going to bed, and repeating over and over again, day in, day out. Waiting for the weekend so they can basically stay at home and do nothing all weekend long. And the funny thing is that they're raising a whole other generation of people like that. Or they try and raise them and they stick them in front of a tablet or a PC or a phone and let that raise them. Where you see on the news all the ignorant little unmentionable teenagers that are going crazy out there because they have no guidance. They have no systems to guide them. They have no role models. They have no identity for themselves. Because see, you don't build systems to change your life. You change systems to change who you believe you are. And when you change who you believe you are, that's when your identity changes. It took me a long time to realize. I used to think, I want to make $1 million. I want to make $1 million. I want to make $1 million. 54 years old. And I didn't realize this. I've already made $1 million. Made a couple. Well, what do I show for it? A lot of experiences, that's for sure. A lot of experiences. Multiple businesses, wonderful family, wonderful kids. Some amazing times with friends and family and people. That's what I've got to show for it. But you know what? The hardest thing is for me to believe that, hey, you know what? I actually did it. Because when you start believing on who you are and who you can be, that's where you start becoming somebody who keeps promises to yourself. So you need to start learning to tell yourself, hey, I am somebody, I'm somebody who shows up even when I don't feel like it. I'm somebody who's going to get the job done even though I don't feel like it. I'm someone who keeps my promises to myself first above everybody else. And believe it or not, I've actually kept my promises to myself lately. I've blown up a couple clients, unfortunately, and I feel bad about that. But you know what? My health was more important. My sanity was more important. My mental health was more important. My physical health was more important. My family was more important. And sometimes it sucks. It hurts. It hurts because of the fact that now I have to try and tell bad news on some of these things. It hurts because of the fact that my wallet's going to hurt. The wallet, he's empty. No, he's empty. Ah! That's what I tell my kids all the time. The wallet is empty. No, me no have no money for you. Go play in the street with a butcher knife. I'm joking. That's what my mommy always told me. Here's a paper bag and a butcher knife. Go play in the middle of Kedzie Avenue. Okay, Mom. That was me. Huh? One time I actually grabbed the butcher knife and the bag and I went to go out there. Where are you going? I'm listening to you. You yell at me for not listening to you. I was joking. Oh, I wasn't. But you know what? You got to build your identity before you can change your life. And the only way to build your identity is start by telling yourself who you are and who you're going to be. You got to believe who you are before you can be it. And so therefore you got to start with one daily non-negotiable thing. Not 5, not 10, not 30, not 3, not 2. one non-negotiable habit that you will keep to yourself every day. Every day? Every day. Did I say every day? Every day. Can you say it with me? Every day. What's the word of the day? Every day. We're at 143 days live. And so that one action that will build momentum every single day. What day? Every day. Which day? Every day. How many days? Every day. And that action can be 10 minutes of learning, 10 minutes of movement, 10 minutes of building your business, 10 minutes of studying more for school, 10 minutes of cleaning your environment, 10 minutes of spending time with your family, 10 minutes on a phone call with somebody that cares about you. Because one day, those people aren't going to be there for the phone call. I miss my mother. I miss the times when I would talk to her for hours on end. I actually have an audio tape. Yes, an audio tape of my mom. The only audio tape I have left of her after the fire. And even then, it's kind of burnt and smoke damaged. I'm afraid to try and do it, but it was from my answering machine. When we used to have answering machines. Anybody out there remember answering machines? Answering machines, where they had those little tiny, like little micro cassette thing that goes in there. And it would only record, you had two of them. One was for 15 minutes, so you could record your greeting. And the other one was for 60 minutes or 90 minutes or however long that you would record the person's phone call. And the thing is that when people would call, it would try and let you record it. And you could set it up to where as they can only leave a message for up to 60 seconds, or they can leave a message for as long as they want. My mom was notorious. Notorious? Notorious. Yes, notorious for running my tape out. Yep. The whole 60-minute tape. She would sit on the phone talking to my answering machine, singing songs. Yeah, my mother. Last time I listened to that tape was probably a couple of years ago, and it was really weird to hear a dead person's voice. But you know what? It was the most amazing thing ever. Unfortunately, that tape broke, and I haven't fixed it, and I need to copy it over, and for an IT person, I haven't done it yet. I need to. And I probably will soon. But I'd love to get that off and onto my server so I can preserve her voice all the time. Because when somebody's gone, you miss it. You never hear their voice again. So that's why I say one daily non-negotiable. And if that is 10 minutes of learning or 10 minutes of movement, 10 minutes of exercising, 10 minutes of listening to something positive, 10 minutes of building your business, 10 minutes of going back to school, 10 minutes of cleaning your environment, or even just 10 minutes of a phone call with somebody that loved you. Call your mother. Call your father. Who cares you're mad at them? When they're dead and gone, you'll be sorry that you never got a chance to talk to them. Although then again, unless of course your father's like mine that tried killing me when I was 7 years old, then that's a whole other story. Then no, don't call him. Call him. Oh, you're still alive, darn. My sister said something like that. When I let her know that my father died, she's like, oh, thank God, finally. I love it. Because while he tried killing me when I was 7 years old, he offered to give her the gun to shoot and kill herself when she was like 18. So, one less person taking up our air. I hate saying it like that. But you know what? I got to be thankful for him because without him, I wouldn't be here. So I'll just leave it at that. Thank you for being a sperm donor. But you know what? There are other men in my life that were father role models. A lot of other men in my life. Wally Clyden, Pastor Cohen, Pastor Williams, Mike Shumack, Fred Elzinga, Mr. Marcus. I can name quite a few others. Bill Clyden, Tony Roll. Larry, Nicholas DeYoung. Most of them were my scoutmasters. Most of them are just close friends of the family. They're all pretty much dead now, I think. But they were all great people. They were there for me when my own father wasn't. So, anyways, momentum is built in your minutes, not hours. Take those 10 minutes. Work on those non-negotiables. Hey, Toro Adachi. What's going on? I'll add you briefly. Let's see here. I can't figure out how to try and add you on there. So normally I have a co-moderator that could help out, but tonight they're on vacation. So perhaps another night. I'm actually almost done anyways. Thank you though. Perhaps tomorrow night. I should have my moderator on tomorrow night. They know more about this than I do. But you know what? Momentum is built in minutes, not hours. You don't need time. You need the trigger. Because without systems, they'll collapse without maintenance. You need to try and rebuild your clarity every day. That's what you do at night. You go to bed and you try and rebuild your knowledge. You rebuild your rest. You rebuild your hit points. Rebuild your health. You rebuild your clarity, figuring out what worked, what didn't, what needs improved, and what gets removed. Because see, most people think they're broken, and they're not. They're not broken. They're just stuck. They're just trying to run their life on motivation, and that's a fuel that evaporates. Where your systems, your habits are what keep it going. Motivation is just a fuel. It's just you got to repump it up like putting gas in your tank. Discipline is the engine that keeps going. But in order to keep that engine going, you got to try and pump some more gas in there. And sometimes you got to pump some oil in there to try and lubricate the engine all up. And the easiest way to do that is try and grab some motivational books, grab some motivational videos, some motivational talks, and listen to them, and just put them in that ear and go, work, 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 work. Lube that ear right up. Get all that motivation in your head. Because once you try to start getting all that in your head and it starts building up, you start feeling better about yourself. And that's what builds the motivation. But you got to remain consistent in getting that into your head. See, you're not lazy. It's your structure is missing. You got to build a structure of that constant refueling of the motivation. You got to constantly go back to the gas pump and put gas in your car. You can't drive around without gas in it. Now, can you? You can't drive around without trying to put food in your mouth. If you stop putting food in your mouth, I mean, yeah, you're giving yourself energy, water, and food to give your body energy, but what about your mental energy? That's where you got to have the mindset. You got to listen to positive motivational stuff. You got to read positive books. You got to read stuff to help bring in more knowledge into your head. And you just got to try and stick it in that ear and just go, whoop, 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 whoop. Lube up your brain with knowledge. Lube it up. Put it in there. Because you know what? You're not lazy. Your structure is just missing. You're just unorganized. You don't know how to put that information into your head. To keep the motivation going, to keep refueling your head. You know how to refuel your car. You know how to refill your stomach, but you don't know how to refill your head. You don't know how to refill your mindset. And you got to do that. Because sooner or later, you're going to run out of gas. Sooner or later, you're going to get hungry and you're going to need to put more food in. Sooner or later, you're going to have to refill your mindset. Because the systems are still going to fire whether you feel like it or not. So if you want to win this week, stop waiting to feel ready. Build a structure that's going to try and make progress automatic. Because your system will carry you farther than your feelings ever will. Because you've withstood more than you know. You've owned more than people have seen. Now, it's time to win in a way that nobody can ignore. It's time to make the next move your loudest one yet. Change that mindset. I believe in you. You need to believe in you. Let's go. Good night, everybody, and thank you.